Acting DPP says Cartel and co-accused should not escape justice. The prosecution has urged the Court of Appeal not to allow Vibes Cartel and his three co-accused to escape justice on a technical blunder. It is in the interest of the public in Jamaica that those persons who are guilty of serious crimes should be brought to justice and should not escape it merely because of some technical blunder, argued Acting Director of Public Prosecutions Claudette Thompson. She said, there are remedies to address constitutional breaches regarding delays in the case. The courts have been and should loathe to dismiss a matter due to pre-trial publicity, as the criminal justice system has within it sufficient safeguards to mitigate against the risk of prejudice, the prosecutor said. Thompson said there are sufficient safeguards to ensure that the men get a fair hearing by an independent and impartial jury. The defense in the Vibes Cartel hearing today argued in the Court of Appeal that the best remedy to address the breaches of constitutional rights is to acquit the men of the charge of murder. Attorney Isat Buchanan made the assertion today in a reply to the prosecution. He said the Crown has failed to provide evidence to justify the breach of Cartel and his three co-accused's rights to a fair trial in a reasonable time. The Crown has also admitted that a potential trial will likely perpetuate the breach. Buchanan says the prosecution has failed to justify the breach, and in the absence of evidence, the court must acquit. The cumulative delay falls squarely on the state, he said, noting that the men have been before the courts since 2011. Vibes Cartel, whose real name is Adidja Palmer, and his co-accused, Sean Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones and Andre St. John, are charged with the 2011 murder of Clive Williams in 2011. The Court of Appeal upheld their convictions in 2020. However, on March 14, 2024, the United Kingdom-based Privy Council, Jamaica's final Court of Appeal, overturned the convictions on the grounds of juror misconduct. It said the trial judge should have dismissed tainted juror Livingston Kane, who was later found guilty of accepting a bribe to try to influence the panel. However, the Privy Council did not free the men. It ordered that the Court of Appeal should decide whether there should be a retrial. The Court of Appeal has expressed serious concerns about the prosecution's push for a murder retrial in the Vibes Cartel case, while two murder-related cases sent back for retrial, one in 2022 and the other in 2023, are yet to get trial dates. It has been bothering me. I am very concerned, said lead judge Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop. She said it appeared the prosecution was more interested in pursuing the case involving Cartel and his three co-accused who are charged with the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. The judge asked what is so significant about Lizard's killing that is not present in the case involving former policeman Russian Hamilton, who is accused of the murder of a 14-year-old pregnant girl. His case was sent back in September 2023. The judge noted that the other case involves Trevor Taff, who is awaiting retrial for the alleged beheading of his common-law spouse. Acting Director of Public Prosecutions Claudette Thompson told the court that the prosecution is not focused on the victims of the crime, but the circumstances of the Crown. She said there is no premium being placed on the Cartel case. The senior prosecutor told the court that the state is simply ready to go ahead with the case if a retrial is ordered. She said the Crown is ready for the matter to proceed as early as September 2024, although she noted that the Supreme Court could accommodate it in early 2025. Thompson also said witnesses are ready, and a potential blow to the prosecution. The Court of Appeal today indicated that granting bail may not be sufficient to cure rights breaches if Vibes Cartel and his co-accused are ordered to be retried for murder. Last week, prosecutor Lorian Tugwell conceded that the men's rights to a fair trial in a reasonable time has been breached and could be infringed by a retrial. However, she said there are remedies such as bail, which are open to the court to address the constitutional violation. But this morning, presiding Judge Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop said the bail suggestion may not be appropriate. She said, even if the men are granted bail, their right to a fair trial in a reasonable time would still being infringed. The judge said the issue is not about getting bail, but about getting a trial in a reasonable time. The judge's view was in favor of an argument raised by John Clark, one of the defense lawyers in the case. Vibs Cartel, whose real name is Adijah Palmer, and his co-accused, Sean Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre St. John, are charged with the 2011 murder of Clive Williams in 2011. The Court of Appeal upheld their convictions in 2020. However, on March 14, 2024, the United Kingdom-based Privy Council, Jamaica's final court of appeal, overturned the convictions on the grounds of juror misconduct. It said the trial judge should have dismissed tainted juror Livingston Kane, who was later found guilty of accepting a bribe to try to influence the panel. However, the Privy Council did not free the men. It ordered that the Court of Appeal should decide whether there should be a retrial.